This topic that I am discussing today is indeed a very delicate topic, a very delicate and multifaceted topic. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. How are you doing today? Let me wave. So, earlier on, I was talking about bringing women abroad, bringing village women abroad. Don't bring village women abroad. Don't go to your village and bring village women abroad. And a lot of people realized that many women have been cheating men. You take a girl from abroad, you go to the village and you pick a girl and you take this girl abroad. You turn her from an Ungbi, you turn her from an Ungbike to a civilized Western babe. And of course, many men were in support. You see, let me also knock the men on the head with this topic. When a man goes to get an Ungbi, an Ungbike, an Omidan from the village, what he is trying to do is trying to get someone who will be subservient to him. It's just like a man who is working, not so good looking man who is dating a girl. It happened to a lot of men. They go, they date girl for school. The girl go date them. The moment the girl finish school like this, the girl go tell you, say she no marry again. She will go marry her boyfriend. And many of these men, I don't know if you guys have heard these stories, start to cry. Hello? Many of these men will start to cry. The problem is that tears fill your eye. Those tears. I've been knocking the women on the head. It's now time to knock the men. Somebody say, "Omo VC, you never sleep." I never sleep. Oh. I still dey awake. I still dey hustle. You know, see the iPhone 16. Where I buy? iPhone 16 Pro Max. I barely they call them. I never pay. If I go to sleep now, how I want to take pay? All those people, Daddy Freeze, what's your account? Daddy Freeze, what's your account number? 1 naira, they no put. Daddy Freeze, paste your account. Send your account. 1 naira, they no put. How come go sleep? So, like I said earlier on, today, the topic is a serious topic, a major topic, a very, very important topic. Earlier on, it seemed like I was bashing the ladies. Don't bring the village girls abroad. Today I have time for the men. What are you doing bringing a village girl abroad? Why would a man who has climbed the society ladder decide to go and bring a girl who is below his status? Why? Because this girl looks up to you. This girl can be controlled the way your mother was controlled. Joyce Nwab said, I did not see the account number. Somebody please paste it for her. I'm with the account now. I'm watching. Let me see those that truly care. You see, many men like women they can subdue. You'll be amazed. And AKT, meaning those Americans will get our color, will be submissive to a man. But what you men are looking for is not submission, it is subduing. Exploitation. You want somebody you will lord over. This lady is asking for my account before I gawk myself. Okay, I quickly put out the account. Continue. 100-131-7326 Zenith Bank. 100-131-7326. Somebody say it's hard to find AKT where they well. The bank na Zenith Bank. Why? So, because you not find AKT where they behave, you not find Oyibo where they behave, you won't come go your village. Let me tell you, Yoruba people say, Ajá tí ò bá gbọ́ fèrè ọdẹ, ó máa sọnù ni. A dog that does not hear the whistle of the owner will get lost. So for your mind, your village queen where you want marry, go they hear the whistle of your mama for village? Yes, she go hear. If she dey village. The moment you carry am comot for village, you carry am put for city, or you carry am go abroad, no fairy where they want blow where she go hear again. No. So men, I have a problem with you guys when you are looking for, you came from the village, you don't grow, reach one certain level. Find a woman that matches you. Stop going to look for old men. Stop looking for younger girls because your mates will be women. Don't mature past you. They don't go take the nonsense so you want to give them. You want to come go. Well, the day that small girl go disregard you, the day that small girl go rude to you, Ojo yen dey koloni. She will disgrace you. She will disregard you. Sometimes people look at, especially in this part of the world, they look at relationships as poverty alleviation programs. And I blame our parents for that. Our parents hand over too much responsibility to children. The responsibility on the neck of a Nigerian child is too much. Once, it's okay if you can afford it. But when you can't afford it, it will drown you. And you will never be okay. When you are not taking, in Nigeria, when you are not taking care of your parents, you look like you are wicked. You are bad. I came here to break that jinx. I take care of my parents because I can afford it. I don't take care of my mother because my mother does not need it. My mother is doing well. I've never taken care of my mother in any, when my mother was sick, very sick, she worked and paid the bill. Her hospital bill ran into tens of millions. It was paid off by her office. My mother has never needed care. All the expensive treatments my mother had to do, nobody has ever cared for my mother before. My mother has 4 children. None of us have ever cared for her before. We take care of her. She comes to visit us. We take her out. I drive her in my car. Beyond that, there's nothing you can do for my mother. But all my other parents, I make sure I'm there for because I can afford it. If I can't afford it, it will stop and I will never feel bad that I can't do it. Mr. Cucumber, how are you doing? Why do people feel bad? Because they have tied honor to money. Honor your father, your mother, in Nigerian parlance, has become give your father and your mother money. So the Bible says, honor your father and mother so your days might be long. Nigerians will translate it as give your father and your mother money so your days might be long. No, honor is not the same as money. And this is really important because those of you who don't have money feel you are not honoring your parents. You feel like you are not honoring your parents. So upon a marriage, there is already the burden of the last generation. There's nothing wrong when you can afford it. If you can afford to send your parents money, by all means do it. And there is a blessing there. But I guarantee you there is no blessing in giving rich parents money. I don't talk am before. If you mumu yourself, you mumu be that. There is no blessing in giving your parents who can afford to take care of themselves money. The blessing is taking care of the poor. If your parents are poor, they qualify in the blessing. If your pastor is poor, he qualifies in the blessing. If somebody sends, Daddy Freeze, I like this phone that I just bought. I'm going to pay for it, 2.6 million. Send me your account. I wire my account. The person pays for it. I will love the person. I will appreciate the person. I will be glad for the person. If the person calls me, I will pick his call. I will talk to the person, but there is no blessing there because I'm not poor. You can never give me money and get a blessing from God. If I were poor, I will qualify. If your pastors are poor, they will qualify. If your parents are poor, they will qualify. If me, your parents, or your pastor are not poor, they don't qualify for God's blessing financially. You honor your parents. You show them love. You give them honor. But let me tell you, you've got to be careful how far you stretch that honor. The Bible says, or the Bible claims, that's what I'm going to be using now because there are so many claims in the Bible, that you must obey your parents. I am living testimony that if I had obeyed my parents, I would be poor. Me that's sitting here, if I had obeyed, I am here today because I decided to disobey my parents. Oh yes, the Bible claims a lot of stuff. The Bible is the claim. Science is proof. Hydrogen and water and oxygen combine for water. Combine to become water. Abi, 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen, or 2 molecules of oxygen. I've forgotten the basic chemistry. It's not a claim. That's the truth. The claim is that we all came from Adam and Eve. It's a claim. It's not been proven and it can never be proven. Do I believe it? I believe it. But I do very carefully not allow my imagination to erode my reality. I believe it because I have chosen to believe it does not mean it is right and does not mean it is important. The day I find out, like I'm getting close to finding out, that we did not come from Adam and Eve, I begin to do away with that belief. These are the new series I'm going to be teaching you now. The important parts of scripture and the unimportant parts. What is important? Forgive yourself. The teachings of Christ are important. What is unimportant? The fact that Noah built a boat is irrelevant. It's not important. The message is love one another. Noah building a boat has nothing to do with the message. My Egyptology professor told me that according to ancient Egypt history, there was no Exodus. The Bible claims there was an Exodus. What do? Where Christ mentions the Exodus, I use it in the context of the paradox of the allegory. I use it in the context of the allegory, the way I will use Chinua Achebe's Okonkwo in Things Fall Apart. But is it important that Moses came? The story is important. The story is relevant. But is it historically accurate? Absolutely not. There is no archaeological or historical evidence. It is not important for me to believe that Moses left Egypt. But it is important for me to understand the moral, allegorical, and anagogical value of the story of Moses leaving Egypt. Where I'm taking you to is intellectual and deep. I saw your pastor, one of your pastors, preaching that something fell from a woman's beak. It's there. It's on one of the pages. I'll send it to you. A ring fell from a woman's beak. Imagine. You see, the moment when my Egyptology professor spoke about the Exodus, a lot of us did not want to believe him. Why? Because our foundation was our backbone of our understanding. And our foundation was the lies they told our parents. That's what we use as baseline. Look at somebody beside you and tell them, beware of your baseline. Anything you put on the ground, any mat you sleep on, now from that mat you go dey jump. Person will stand on top roof, person will stand on top car, and person will stand on top mat. If they jump, they can never get to the same height because we are jumping from different platforms. That was the day I stopped taking my children to church. The day my Egyptology professor, and why was my rationale? Why did I stop taking them to church? Because I realized that my parents gave me a baseline of religion that I cannot do away with. My parents taught me for 20 years, both in Islam and Christianity, that the world came from Adam and Eve. That Noah built a boat. They taught me that Moses and Aaron led the people out of Egypt. So anything you want to teach me, my baseline will interfere in it. My imprinted baseline, something they don't imprint inside me. So when my professor said that, none of us agreed. And why did we disagree with him? Not because we had proof, not because we had evidence, but because our belief was our baseline. I said I will not do this to my children. That was the day before I knew that the teachings that they were teaching them in church was nonsense. But I said, you know what? Let them go to church. Then when they grow up, if they feel that the teachings are not right, they will pull out of the church system. That day I changed that narrative. I said, no, they are not going to church. If they grow up in life, I will give them a baseline of reality. If they want to build a belief system on that baseline, then they are welcome. But I will not give them the false baseline my father gave me or my mother gave me. Somebody say, my eyes are open now. Daddy Freeze, Asa, please. Sadly, I cannot call a number on TikTok. They will lock my account. So I have to mute it. If you come to, the Asa is pasted on Instagram. So I read the Bible for what the Bible is meant to be. It is meant to be an allegorical guide. It's not a book of facts. The world is not 8,000 years old. Adam did not live to be 800 years old. All those things, I do not believe them. Maybe he lived to be 300. But even that is us stretching it. All those things are unimportant. The message of Christ is love one another. You come to Nigeria, you will not see the message. The message of Christ is forgiveness. You come to Nigeria, you will not see it. I'll tell you two stories. St. Peter's Church, Arimo, in the 80s and in the early 90s, they acquired two thieves. One was Alhaji Naira. If you were grown in the 80s, I was a kid then. I was like 9 years old. Imagine the trauma. The guy go try thief car for St. Peter's Church, Arimo. They can't catch him after one Sunday service. This was maybe 84 or 85. I used to go with my dad to the hospital then as a kid, and my dad would give me homework I'll go and do. Then when my dad goes out from the hospital, my dad had a hospital opposite St. Peter's Church. I'll go and, now so we see they bring these people, they begin flog them. So they try thief motor. Before you know it, they smash block for one of their Alhaji Naira. Now so they take by him, they break block for a head in eye come out like this. Who are the people that did this? People that are coming from church. He wasn't armed. While the service was going on, they snuck in and tried to steal a car. He wasn't armed. If he was armed, I'd understand. That thing happened in that church. I saw it happen twice. They spy on armed thieves. I'm not supporting stealing, but why will people who just finished listening to a message of forgiveness come out and buy people with thief without gun? They not carry gun, they not carry knife. They just dress like normal people, try to sneak into the car and make away with it. Because the message they went to listen to the two in the church had nothing to do with forgiveness and love, but everything to do with Noah building a boat, Adam being the first man, and Moses leading people out of Israel. You are not Israelites. It does not concern you. The narrative is not even true. And if I were to pick today, should I listen to Moses and the Israelites, or Pharaoh and the Egyptians that are us Africans? One in Novex, I will listen to Pharaoh's side. Because I cannot sit down in Nigeria and you tell me an Igbo man did something to another man, but because I'm listening to the religion of this other man, then my brother is now wrong, when I know that my brother is right. Religion turned black to white throughout my life as I was growing up. I will not allow it in my old age to turn black to white again. My Pharaoh people have said that nobody left their land. I believe them. I will stop believing other people because religion says I should believe them. When my own brothers, to make my own brothers and sisters look bad. That's why Africa is the way it is. That same religion they use divide us. I remember my father's mosque that used to carry us to. One day somebody stole wall clock. How much is wall clock? Now so they won't let you. He chop stone. They come push inside river. He did that river for 2 weeks. With the pass, they see and they swell. So my question always is, what is the essence? What is the essence of all these religions we are practicing if we cannot learn the core message, which is love, the core message, which is care for one another? And that also now brings us to how we interpret honor to our parents. You don't understand where I'm coming from. This thing is very important. The baseline for honor that you've been taught is you must take care of your parents. Yes, you must take care of your parents if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, uncle, you are not a bad child. If you can't afford it, you are not a bad child. Many of the children that are overburdened, you see, this generation is not blossoming because it is carrying the load of the previous generation. It's not like that abroad. It's not like that abroad. It is your obligation if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, it's not your obligation. Your obligation are your children, and you can plan your children. If you not get money, get one pikin or get two. If you not get money, you can't go get 7 children. You be olori buruku. There are some privileges poor people should not be able to have, like having many children. It's not a privilege you should have. Nigeria went from, statistically, I'm giving you statistics, from 45 million in 1960 to 220 million in 2024. The same time, Romania, my mother's country, went from 18 million to 19 million. Romania's population grew by 1 million in 60 years, while Nigeria's population grew by nearly 160 million in the same time frame. We did something wrong. And it is not just education, it is exposure. How do the UK was 55 million in 1960. Nigeria was 45 million. Romania was 18 million in 1960. Today, the UK has grown to 68 million from 55 million. Romania has grown from 18 million to 19 million. Nigeria, that was less than UK, is now more than double Romania and UK combined, times 2. 68 plus 20 million is 88, times 2 is 172 million. We were less than UK in 1960. We are now more than UK and Romania combined, times 2. Ori burukuni. You are now saying your problem is Tinubu. Your problem is your parents and your grandparents. You are carrying a load you are not supposed to carry. Any car you buy will tell you maximum load. If a car's maximum load is 1 ton, and you go and carry 5 tons, the car will break down. We are overloaded. So that brings me back to the black tax. Why am I so specific about this black tax? Because it is a baseline for our thinking. It is a baseline for our thinking. And a girl goes into marriage with the baseline that her husband must take care of her and her extended family. So a woman in Nigeria enters a relationship in Nigeria with the toxic mindset Someone said it's a political figure. Nigeria is less than 230 million. Okay, if Nigeria is 150 million, We are still overpopulated. We are still double. There's no way you can add it that will not be double UK and Romania. Someone say you are APC. Say you see as person stupid. Because I tell you, say your population too much, automatically now I'm APC supporter. You don't go better for your papa. Collect rapture, come and they go, come and they go. They don't warn me about you, say, you not get sense. By rapture, by rapture, by rapture. Someone says you'll appreciate our population growth someday when Nigeria takes over the world. We don't need. You see, my problem is you don't understand that. You think we have the land mass. We don't. It is an illusion. I've kept goldfish before. When you have a tank of goldfish need, I've forgotten how much. Each goldfish needs a certain cubic centimeter for that goldfish to thrive. So if you have a certain size of tank, you can keep 3 goldfish. Maybe max 4 goldfish. If you keep 5 goldfish in a 3 goldfish tank, they will all die. Not just because they will all compete for the resources, because their waste will make the water too toxic for them to survive. We are overpopulated already. It is a stretch already. If we were producing something, then it would be worth it, but still dangerous. Because there is a cap to how many people can successfully live on our land mass and produce this land mass. What is the land mass of the US? Let's start with that. Shabu, I want to talk. What's the land mass of the US? USA land mass. 9,800 kilometers. Nigeria land mass. Okay, Nigeria's land mass says 923,000 kilometers. Let me get the USA one. USA. America land mass. America is 3 million square meters. 3.8 million square meters. Nigeria is 923,000 kilometers. What is USA population? So USA land mass area is about 3.8 million kilometers. Nigeria population is like 923,000 kilometers. USA population is 330 million people. Nigeria's population is 220 million. So we have half of 3.8 is 1.9. We have, I would say, let me do the math. Nine 23 divided by 3800 times 100. We have 24%. of their landmass. So if we're using the USA, they have 3.8 million miles or kilometers, while we have 900 and something thousand as our area. But let's now, so we have 24% of their landmass. Let us now calculate our population ratio to theirs. 220 divided by 313. Somebody gave me the US population just now. Divided by 331 times 100. So when it comes to land area, we have about 24% of the USA land area. But then we have 66% of their population. The USA has 3.8 million miles or kilometers area for 350 million people. We have less than 1 million land area for 220 million people. It's not adding up. We have 60% of their population and only 24% of their land. You know, when you go America, you know they see house. Person go build house. Before you go see the next house, you go see space. Especially all that Detroit, Atlanta, they get land mass. Where is the land mass in Nigeria? Now, I need you to also understand that our entire land mass is not for us to live and to misbehave. We need to have, when was the last Igbo Elerin here in Lagos? Means the bush of the elephant. When you see elephant last, if you are driving in America, you will see elk crossing road. You will see rabbits. You will see deer. Where have you ever driven on Lagos Ibadan Expressway, where you see deer run across? Not every, you see, we need to also learn to conserve nature. They say the whole lion wey dey this our Nigeria, it don't remain 8 for the whole country. 8 lion. We are just consuming the land. We are overpopulated by far already. You are adding the land mass. Are you adding the wildlife? You are just looking at the land mass. Where is the wildlife? What provision are you making so that city life does not encroach on our forests, does not encroach on our wildlife? Anybody that tells you Nigeria has a healthy population is a wicked person. So my problem still goes down to the baseline, and that is why we have the problem we have in Africa. Our baseline is faulty. We built a nation on the baseline our parents gave us. A baseline built on the Bible, a baseline built on the Quran, instead of a baseline built on reality. So a girl in Africa, from dating stage, from talking stage, is going into a relationship as a poverty alleviation scheme. So a lady is looking for a man that is better than her financially, so that an abroad woman is not looking for a decent girl. We're not talking about the ghetto people. A decent AKT from a good home in America or a decent Oyinbo from a good home in Europe, UK, is not looking for a man to alleviate her poverty, but instead is looking for a partner to work and grow together with. But the average Nigerian girl who has to pay black tax, meaning you have to pay your parents' retirement, you yourself are not doing well, and you want to escape poverty. The moment a guy talks to you, hello, my beautiful sister, Dami, how are you doing? What's your phone number? It comes straight with a billing. So what am I trying to establish? The foundation of the Nigerian is already bent, because the Nigerian is looking for a poverty alleviation scheme. The man is taking advantage of this poverty alleviation scheme. You are dating you see, let me tell you here, Andrew Tate broke this down. There are some girls that are 8 to 10. They belong to billionaires. If a girl is from 8 to 10, I'll give you an example. Beyonce belongs to Jay-Z. Jay-Z, if you were war, she does not belong to you. She does not belong to you where they manage. If you have a woman that is an 8 to a 10, she belongs to, especially those women that are 10 over 10, 9 over 10, 10 over 10, they belong to billionaires by default. Why? Because their suitors will be billionaires. But sometimes when a 10 over 10 comes from a poor home, a 1 over 10 or 2 over 10 man financially will now go and carry this girl, because in his mind, her eye never open. But you see, when that 10 over 10, when you see that 10, when that 10 over 10, when her eye open, that billionaire that was made for her, we grab her. Forget all about Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. Those ones married for love, and they married young when they had not yet made their money. Go and read Mark Zuckerberg's story. He said he saw Priscilla the day he was about to be about to be expelled from uni because he did something wrong. So he thought that they were going to expel him. That's when he met Priscilla. Priscilla, don't they follow and they come. If Mark Zuckerberg today now saying one pick wife, oh, you know, see Donald Trump wife. You know, see Donald Trump wife. So when a woman is a 9 over 10, you now see him for village, you can't quickly catch him. Now a 9 over 10 can decide to marry a 2 over 10 guy that loves her. That's the equation. Is it that she marries a billionaire or a regular Joe that loves her? But you took advantage of her poverty. You are neither the regular Joe that loves her, neither are you the billionaire that spoils her. You are a regular Joe that wants to subdue her. So you marry her. She does not want to marry you. She does not want to date you. But her father says she must date you because her father has seen you as his poverty escape route. Make una walk the equation with me. The Baba don't see you as her poverty escape route, as his own poverty escape route through his daughter. So he carry the daughter, give you. The daughter, they look at Papa. She say, okay, no problem. That's why you see many men coming and tell, this billionaire took my wife. Olowo gba iyawo ole. There's a phrase for it. Olowo, rich man, collect lazy man wife. Now, let me ask you a question. A girl that married you because her parents pressured her to marry you or to date you, when that girl no longer needs you in her life and she says she not marry again, is that girl wrong? A girl that married you because she was more or less forced by situation, circumstance, and parental and societal pressure to marry you. We have a popular Facebook comedy couple. That's how the wife started. Marry one village man. The moment her eye opened, she leave the marriage man, go village man, go follow actor. Everybody, they cuss him up and down, they cuss him up and down, they cuss him up and down. If you find out the story of this girl, you will realize that that first marriage was not her, it was society, circumstance, parental influence and pressure that made her. And the moment she got out of under the grip of society, parents, and circumstance, she married who she want to marry. Everybody will say, oh, she's wicked. Oh, she broke the man's heart. Make una they think the matter well. So the problem is not the girl. The problem is not the guy. The problem is the societal baseline upon what you are building. You know the story, popular actor where they mumu himself up and down. If you read the story of his wife, the true story, if you read the true story of his wife, you will realize, Baba, I can say so for free. When you look at that first husband with the wife marry, you go know say the man know what am. Even na me be the children, I no go identify with him as my papa. Me, I know say I know well. So when a woman has this baseline and a man has this same baseline, when they now enter abroad where your Nigerian baseline does not matter, disaster will load. There are so many couples that are doing very well in abroad because they did not carry over Nigerian baseline. There are couples doing very well abroad because they were able to evade the Nigerian baseline. But you see, once you go there as a man and you want to go and bring a poverty alleviation program from Nigeria, it will not end well. And once you are a woman and you are going abroad to alleviate your family's poverty, using a man as your route, it will not end well. Waiting, I don't talk now. Parable, I use take talk am. It might sound a little bit confusing, but I hope you understand it. And women, you also need to alleviate, you also need to sit down and talk to yourself. Do you really love this man? Sama, baby? Or are you in this relationship to alleviate poverty? I can see you. Kylie.
Instead of her to be sleeping by this time.
Kylie.
I took her off the camera.
Okay. She go follow you fight.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So what is your contribution? I don't talk since. I don't they talk my own, they come since.
You don't talk the main thing, Nana. Why don't they post their husband's pictures online? Only themselves then they post. They become the one that say these people not get husband again. Because their husband, as well as those of them went on Japa. Their husband not good to this. He never reach to the posting pictures. Maybe we'll look and say, look at this pretty girl. So this is the person she's married to. They know, we know.
I've heard that thing before. People are ashamed of their husband
because when those of them would be saying they married abroad overseas men when they were already young. You understand? Now they don't come out. They don't enter that shining stage, and the husband no, too sharp. Now why they barely post them? They're always posting themselves. But we know it's true now. Maybe we don't know.
Brother,
all right, though.
You said I should bring you on. I've brought you on. Oh, yeah, talk.
Yeah, Daddy Freeze. Good evening.
Greet Sama, baby.
Sama, baby. Good evening. Oh.
Hello, good evening. I can't even see him.
Really?
Okay, brother, talk. No worry. Me, I can see you.
Yeah, I came on earlier, but my phone went off. Yeah, what you're talking about is actually the truth. I mean, we can excuse some exceptions, I, for one, I came to America single after a serious heartbreak from Nigeria, and I decided I would never get married to a Nigerian girl. But at the end of the day, after dating, I've dated a white woman, I've dated a Mexican, I've dated Jamaican. At the end of the day, I changed my mind, and I ended up getting married to a Nigerian lady, a Yoruba lady that grew up here. And I have a couple of friends that had gone home to bring their women, vice versa, the women to bring in their men, and I would tell you 95% didn't end up well. What I discovered was most of the guys want a woman they can control. And you can never find a girl that is brought up here, that is brought up in the abroad, that would allow you to control them. Because the system gives them independence. I mean, like I said, we can excuse some exceptions.
My brother, but days are gone when men were bringing wives overseas. Women are the ones bringing their husbands overseas right now.
Yeah.
And any woman out there waiting on a man to, break her family, whatever. I don't know where she, I don't know, but it shouldn't be the case anymore.
Yeah. Believe it or not, there are still some good ones here. We have that mentality that...
But let me tell you, the problem I have with a lot of you, growing up, I know a lot of people that, especially as a young lady, I mean, we are the women, right? We get approached. We see a lot of men approach us. I saw a lot of people that would tell you, oh, they used to be married, they're not married anymore. All those wicked uncles way from Nigeria. All these older men, look, most of you, a lot of them, traveled overseas, they lived overseas, they got married to foreigners at the end of the day. Whose side? They return back to Nigeria and then start from square one. They will not start looking for one less privileged girl that they will marry and deceive the parents by completing their building and all that. And they'll start their work from the beginning. So I see men, the other day I was listening when people were saying, oh, they can't marry, or they're married to foreigners, they've been counting 10 years, 9 years. That's okay. But the truth is, a lot of them are not even saying the reason why they ended up being with these women. But I can assure you that I know a lot of them that at a point, they would kind of be like, oh, they used to be married and not married anymore. Because where are those wives? They are nowhere to be found. Your own is your own. I don't have a problem with being with a different nationality, but let me tell you, I go say, Nigerian men feel no, they're romantic. Nigerian men feel too, they overdo. Okay? But, last,
we're not.
Nigeria will go back. But there's no one like Nigeria. And if you tell me that, foreigners, Daddy Fish, they hear me talk on the other day, the men were talking about how they've been living with foreigners for so long. I mean, they don't want to hang out with. I understand a lot of women, Nigerian women, we are wired differently. Our sense of reasoning and everything, is kind of, we are mean, we are aggressive, right? Which is the same thing people talk about even to the blacks, like we are aggressive. But our men are no different from us. We are the same. We are the same. It's just that our men at the point, they just want to okay, because the foreigners, they tend to baby you. They are more romantic, of course we know they are romantic. So, my American boyfriend then would be like, he's always like, baby, I don't want you to cook. Oh, have you closed from work? I'm placing order. What would you like to eat? And they're delivering it to my doorstep. He was very, and he's very romantic. Our men are not like that. They would expect you to even stress and come back home and start again. So what is good for one is good for two. Yes, we are aggressive. We blacks, we are aggressive. I understand that. But then the men are not left out of this. They still want to be in control. They are still very authoritative. They just want to be like, they feel like, okay, in as much as I'm providing everything you need, I owe you. That's how our men, treat our women. But when they start hanging out with these foreigners, then these foreigners, because they are gentle, because they were brought up and wired in a different way, they will be kind of very romantic. And by so doing, they will be like, okay, they've experiencing something they're not used to experiencing. But guess what? Last, go still give them 10, 15 years, even after 20 years, they feel wake up one day, they go still work. You go still come back home, come meet us. Come meet our guests within Nigeria, begin to disturb them. Now you go still carry yourself, go look for all these small girls. So you say their parents can barely feed, and then you start deceiving them because they're looking after them. I know a lot of them that did and are still doing it till date. Look around you and ask yourself, many people around you.
What the freeze is talking about is we going back home to bring girls back, bring girls from Nigeria to get married to. Like I said, there are so many exceptions. Some of them work. Like I will tell you, 90% of them eventually don't work. I'm married to a Nigerian, but she grew up here, and I have friends that we had these discussions together, and they were like saying, never, the girls here are this, are that, and this. And I met most of them. I had to tell them, I met you all here, and I was able to find a girl to get married to. The issue is most of them don't know how to approach these ladies because of the mentality they already have about them. That any girl that grew up here is definitely not going to be a good wife. That is our mentality as men from Nigeria. And we also have this mentality that there are some things that a man cannot do. If you bring that kind of mentality abroad, and you say you want to marry Nigerian girl, we grow up here, it will never work now. Like some men will say, I can never cook. Some men will say, I can never help to take care of. I can't clean my baby's diapers and all those kind of things. All those things are what they do just freely.
Even me, I be like this, I change diapers. When it reach my turn, that one day when children don't go school, only you and picking baby day house, baby go they cry, say diaper don't full, you know go change them.
Most men from Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria, I had to leave all those mentality. Some go even say, my wife go there, make her they do dishes. It doesn't. Some of them, I have one that just brought a girl that is about 21 years and got married to this girl. Took this girl away from where people they go live or where they far. And this was among these guys that were saying that I would definitely go home and bring the girl.
They don't plan and they don't calculate them.
He no know from nowhere. They introduced the girl to Ram. The guy has been, the guy grew up in America. They introduced the girl to him from wherever. And I was like, I could remember I was asking him, you don't meet this girl before? And it was like during our primary school days. So when I now got to know the girl's age and his own age, I'm like, primary school days, it doesn't work. He definitely lied to me. Before you know, the guy don't carry the girl, go where we not go even feed, come visit them. Far away from everybody. You know, the thing is, I'm not saying that we shouldn't marry from where we come from. But when you believe you have that mentality that you want to bring the girl you can control, trust me, that girl will come there and open eye, come to you shaky. I'm telling you.
And try to bond with your wife before traveling. Most people don't even bond. You don't bond with your wife to an extent. You people are yet to even understand yourselves. And then you travel overseas. Because I always say this, yeah? I was telling one of my relatives that is about to relocate to overseas, say, look, Nigerian love is different from overseas love. By the time you two move overseas, it's not going to be like it was. Things are going to be different. You know, just like they say, having children comes with a lot of pressure. That's the way overseas, it's on its own, comes with a lot of pressure. The pressure it comes with is not the same as the one we face back home. Because if your husband if you as a man, you're used to being a breadwinner back home, while the woman is the one doing every chores and all that, when you go abroad, you realize that if only you start doing that, it's going to drain you. You need help, especially if you've got kids. So this is where people need to take their time, sit down and discuss this thing before they move. That way, and excuse me, the women also need to understand that, okay, look, my husband and I are traveling overseas with the kids. The essence of going is to better our lives and that of the children, not for me to get there and the first income or money I'm earning, I'm sending it to my mother, my father, my relatives, and my uncles. And
thank you.
And the man is the only one using his own to foot the bills in the house. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to support one another. You have to discuss those things ahead of time. Don't make it a thing that you are going and the man is the one working, babu the work, monkey the chop. You're the one saving yours for your relatives. It's going to drain him out. So because a lot of them don't have these conversations, they only focus on, oh, I'm heading over there. Oh, let me go and make money and send back home. Then they'll leave the whole load for one person. Then when you get there, you now start, having some financial crisis and issues because you never discussed any of this. So people should discuss that. Look, it's not going to be like it was. I'm not going to be the only breadwinner by the time we move overseas because it's not going to be like it was when we're back home. There's going to be lots of bills, so you have to support in little ways that you can support, not just a housewife. You understand? So when they don't have these conversations, it's one of the things that bring problem.
You're actually on point. I will tell you guys something that is so close to me that happened recently, but I thank God the guy has been exonerated. The guy came in here. I was single at that time. I took in this guy because somebody called me. So the guy lived with me for like 2 years before he started living on his own. And the guy was married back in Nigeria, big boy from Nigeria, bank manager from Nigeria. He came here for his schooling, but later he changed his route. So he eventually brought his wife and his kid, one son. Fast forward, it not even reach 1 year, 6 months. This girl called police on the guy, saying that the guy beat down. You understand? So eventually, this lady no get any evidence. Because when she told me that the man they beat down, I just told the lady, I know your husband for the few years that we live together. He's somebody that would never keep quiet when he sees something. He must definitely talk. He's a little bit hot-tempered, but he raised his hand. And that guy, at that time, he came in, he changed his route to become a nurse. He was an LVN. He became an LVN. And for a nurse, if you get anything like DV, waiting for domestic violence, anything domestic violence.
Just call on DV, we know they go.
DV. So the guy know waiting there. I know that guy beat down. So I can't ask him, so, okay, what evidence do you have? The lady played some kind of recorded.
I'm sending to you already. Check your phone.
And I told her this is not going to be acceptable in court. Whatever you want to do, I'm not telling you not to divorce this guy, but drop that domestic violence case.
That DV, just call her DV.
Then that DV, the DV violence case. This girl bent on never. Even the church where then they go, the pastor, everybody beg this girl, drop this thing. At the end of the day, we got to know they were pushing her from her job. And that from the job where they push her, she lost the job at the end of the day. Although the guy was paying her for the period of the case and everything, at the end of the day, they dropped the DV case. And for you to know how nice this guy is, judge asked the guy, say, do you want this lady to pay for your legal fees? Because if that guy had been convicted, he's going to pay his legal fees, he's going to pay the woman's legal fees. And this guy said, no, let her pay her fees, I'll pay my fees. Everybody they don't say, are you okay? This woman was bent on finishing you, and you went ahead to even say, make judge, no say make you pay your legal fees. But they said something that was very important, that because of their son. I mean, it was so terrible that this guy became, and he had to drop out from his RN class because he wanted to switch, he wanted to do from LVN to RN. He had to stop going to class because of this thing. it was so terrible that this guy started losing weight because of this case, because he was paying the lady close to about 2,900 every month. I mean, it was really terrible. And this marriage now, when you calculate everything together, when they were not together and when they were together, almost 10 years.
And I would like to say something, which is people should learn how to be forgiving. You can't say you have a partner or you are married or for some reasons you keep dwelling in the past and you can't forgive. Because what would be the essence of you, finishing one another? It doesn't make any sense. If things happen when it happened, if you choose to be with somebody irrespective of what they've done to you, if you move overseas, let it go. Don't try to pay them back for the things they did to you 20 years ago. I'm telling this one now, my gender, we barely forgive. So put it behind. Because if you don't, somebody say forgiveness is a sin. They don't say it now. They don't forgive themselves. They take this whole thing.
Meanwhile, that person go tell you to make you come church on Sunday.
I wonder.
Missing the essence of the teachings of Christ.
It's going to affect your kids. It's going to affect you. How do you even sleep at night knowing fully well that you did somebody dirty? Let go. If something happened in the past, it happened in the past. Let's go. Move on. Don't be holding on to it. My gender, we need to. No, we need to.
It's both ways, actually. In both ways. Some men too are terrible. To be sincere, some men too, they're very, very terrible. You know? You go carry a woman, come believe, say the woman will be your slave. Because say you carry and come, you put down for him.
Yes, now.
No.
So it goes both ways. The conversation goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation goes both ways.
As I did like this, now my madam fight for me. Everything the way I be for America, now the woman. But you will never know. I could count myself lucky. We've been married for over 6 years. Everything goes well.
Now, your wife, is she Nigerian?
She's Nigerian, but she grew up here. She came here when she was 1 year. Yeah. And she's in her 30s now.
Those one's good.
I keep telling people around that this Niger when they talk, so now I'm going to carry girl come. If that girl open eye. There are some that want.
So if that girl travel, come know say she can make money and help her family to that extent, your own don't finish. And you begin to shake hands. You're going to work your own, they take care. They're going to work their own, they send, they give their relatives. They're not going to help you. And if God can't help you, you can't send that one go school, make that one come be nurse or go IT or any of this, lucrative or good profession. Your own don't scatter with that. So why you doing this? You also help yourself. Another thing is, most men, those of you that like to bring your wives overseas, and you come and marry this young girl and bring her and send her to school to go and complete her education. You said you supposed to go to school, go complete your education. Education is not meant for any particular gender. Stop using yourself too. Because you bring women, you think there's nothing wrong in sending your wife back to school to go get a degree or get a course that will benefit the family. But as much as you're doing that, do it for yourself as well. Because you finish doing this for them, they will not tell themselves, okay, I've arrived. And then they'll start paying you. A lot of them don't have IQ. They go pay you back in a very bad way. So, if you're going to train someone else, train yourself first, though. It's very important.
That's the mistake a lot of men do.
Anyway, guys, lovely hosting you. I love you guys loads. We've been on for quite a minute. Make I go sleep small. Another day has come.
All right, Daddy, please, thank you.
Good night, everybody.
You're a terrible singer. I don't want this one. Stop singing.
I swear I sing past you. 2 women where I know say I sing past. Sama Baby and Taste Buds. I sing past them.
Mama, go.
I agree.
I sing past you now. Make una leave me. Good night, guys. Have a lovely one.
Thank you.
Good night.